Okay, here we are again for the final time with this game. So we'll wait a few minutes and then we'll get started. I already just muted the audio. I should type in my notes so that I remember that I have to mute again before the end of the stream, because otherwise we'll get that false copyright strike flagged again. Mute game before rolling credits. Perfect. Because the credits in Fallout 4, from my understanding, are the crew menu on the main menu. So basically we won't get credits in the game itself. We will get credits once we go out of the game, exit the game to the main menu, and then hit the crew button. So that'll be when we mute and have to sit in dead silence while I do my monologue on the game. I have a compromise on it though, so we'll chat about that once we get there. Until then, move the mic up a little bit. There we go. Until then, we'll play the actual game. Okay, let's start the game. It's not on a static screen. Leave it right here. And go from there. Okay. I have taken my drink. It's 4:31. Let's get this rolling, shall we? Feels really weird to be back here, considering the fact that this is going to be the final episode. But I slept through the night. I went and had a chat with Sheffield while Preston and Sturges finished up their work on their holotape that the Brotherhood decrypted for us. And now we're ready to see just what kind of an escalation my son would like to do. He wouldn't show up on the radio for me. Maybe now he will if I turn it on. You had one job, Sean. You had one job. Can't even do that right. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the finale of Fallout 4, the stream edition. Last time, after getting the Minutemen all set up, we had to wait for Ronnie Shaw to get to the castle to do the old guns quest. We get our artillery units. I'm just going to take Sneak 4. I don't really need it, but I'm going to take it anyway just because. So yeah, we did a whole bunch of side quests to let her get there. We got all of our stuff set up and we've lined up all the pieces. Today, we are going to knock them down and see where we end up at the end of all of it. Dogmeat is currently at Boston Airport, where I will pick him up. So let's get this rolling. First thing I need to do is I need to go find Preston. I think he was back here last time I looked. Are you in this house? I heard your voice. Follow the sound of my voice, Preston. Because Preston is the next one that tells us what's going on, basically. There he is. Preston, how did Sturges' holotape studying go?
Bad news. The Institute has been scouting the castle. Looks like they're getting ready for a major attack.
Great.
If they can knock out the castle, it could set us back to square one. We can't let that happen again. I've sent word for all available Minutemen to rally at the castle. We've got to win this one.
Well, you know, that makes sense. It seems like they, okay, well, before you start running off, why don't you just come with me?
I need your help.
Sure thing, General. I think the folks here can manage on their own now. Thanks to you.
Probably. We're going to have to hope so, considering the fact that you need to come with me, because... Are you going to... Hang on, Preston. I gotcha. There. Now you'll be okay. Now you can get out of there without getting stuck. He would have ran off towards the castle, and the likelihood is that he never would have made it before the battle started, so I think it's better if we just take him with us, even if he's going to whistle while making it look like he's talking the whole time. I was going to say, yeah, so you know what probably ended up happening is that the Institute's probably been scouting the castle because it has a nice forward operating position towards the Pridwin itself, so they were probably scouting it as sort of like a, hey, we should take this over so we have a good defensible position on the surface for when we fight the Brotherhood, but, well, then we sort of took it over and put ourselves in the line of fire, which means we're going to have to do something about that, so let's go do something about that, shall we? Preston, we're going for a ride. Once the vertibird gets here. I do, however, need to make one pit stop before we go to the castle to defend it, as part of the Defend the Castle quest, because Finch Farm still needs resources, and if I recall correctly, I looked at this before. That's the wrong menu. There we go. Yeah, so they don't have enough water or defense for the people and the food and the water they have there, but also, again, this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to end this as soon as I can, is because the game seems to be coming apart at the seams here, because it's forgetting that I have 124 defense and 16 beds at the castle. So it seems to be a recurring issue with these Fallout games, where the longer you play, the more the game falls apart at the seams, and I'm not really very keen on that. So we will just try to get this done as soon as we can. It's a shame, honestly, too, because, like, if you look at the map, like, we tried to make our, go through our due diligence and look around a whole bunch of the map to try to find as much as we could, and we did discover quite a few locations, but, like, the Glowing Sea still has several locations, mostly in the southeastern corner of it, that we didn't really look at. There's probably a few over here to the west of the crater that we didn't look at. Basically everything south of Boston Common we did nothing with, including Quincy itself, which seems like a shame because the gunners down here would definitely be gunning for the castle now that it's back up and running, and I don't know why that wasn't the focus of the game. North Cambridge, all of Malden is basically shot to hell and back, and then Salem in the top right corner. None of these places are places where the game ever directs you to go to as a part of the main quest, and because the main quest is so fast-paced and attempting to be compelling, it becomes difficult to find an excuse to go to these places, and I will complain more about that when we get to the credits. Until then, let's board the vertibird and head on over to Finch Farm. Well, you better strap in and hold on tight, Preston, because the up and the down with this can get a little bit rough, depending on how it all goes. Lancer, take us to Finch Farm, please.
Weapon is locked and loaded.
He just looks like, I don't know, like, I mean, I'm sitting here on the gun, so that's fine, but him just sitting there with his hands in his lap, like, I mean, it makes sense because there doesn't appear to be any seatbelt in there, but, like, he just looks so dejected, like, I don't know why, but that's just the impression that I get when he's sitting there. I can see that the raiders that were over in that little section have respawned. That's just great. My understanding is that Thicket Excavations respawns pretty quickly as well once you've taken care of Sully. I think you might have to kill the Mirelurks. I think there might have been maybe one Razor Claw in there, but I think you have to kill the Mirelurks as well that are at that location. And then if you leave and come back, they're like all instantly back except Sully. He's just dead forever. So I guess it would make for a good farming location if you so choose. I don't know how true that is though because I've never done it, but that's what I've heard. So there you go. Oh, Wildwood Cemetery, thanks. That's a nice little chunk of experience that we can just add to my collection there. Thinking about it, there's quite a few quests in here that we could have gone ahead and done. Like, I mean, I guess you could go do the Radiant Minutemen quests if you want all the settlements. These, I mean, we have County Crossing, but these two we didn't even see. You could go do all the Radiant Railroad quests if you so choose as well. We didn't do anything with Earl Sterling. I'm sure Nick is hot on the case there. Gilded Grasshopper gets you a unique sword, revolutionary sword as a reward, so not bad. A few miscellaneous quests we didn't do. You can talk to McCready and you can hire him on as a companion if you really want to. His perk is pretty good, so I'd say that he's worth it just for that. You could bring chems to Mama Murphy so she could give you prophetic visions of the future. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. I don't really like doing this one, to be honest, because if you give Mama Murphy Jet, after that she says, okay, before we do the next one, I'm going to need you to construct a nice comfy chair for me to sit in so I can have my prophetic visions of the future and have a place to concentrate. So you give her the chair, and then she sits in the chair and she does nothing for the rest of the game. She is considered a settler for the purpose of your settlement workshops. She uses food and water and a bed, I think, if I recall correctly. She needs food, water, and a bed, but she will not help with farming or anything else, or defense if that's what you want her on. She won't help with any of that stuff. She just sits in the chair like a lump forever. And I mean, I know she's old, so it doesn't really make sense for her to work hard, but like, you're down a settler, but you're not, and it seems silly to do that. So I usually just convince her not to do any chem stuff and just go from there. That's from the Raider note. Search for caps in Kendall Hospital. That would have been whatever. We would have gotten a few caps from that. The only thing with this is that it might also work with Butcher's Bill, because I know Butcher's Bill 1, the safe house that they were talking about in this one is Augusta safe house, if I remember right. And I'm not actually sure if you can just go directly to Kendall Hospital and skip getting the dead drop in this quest in order to continue with it. You might be able to, which means this would have synergized well with Butcher's Bill if I was doing that one, but that's fine. Again, the game's coming apart at the seams, so I don't really want to stay too long. Let's not let the game explode on me, that wouldn't be good. This one just stays in your inventory forever. Just give Proctor Quinlan technical documents. This one starts a quest in Good Neighbor called The Big Dig, if I remember correctly. That lets you recruit Hancock as a companion. And again, it's kind of really a shame that once you're done in the memory den, the game just sort of never directs you back to Good Neighbor, because I do enjoy the location. It's probably my favorite town in the game, but they just never direct you there. And again, I'll save that complaint for later. The Museum of Witchcraft quest is actually pretty interesting. It takes place in Salem, as you might expect, considering it's a Museum of Witchcraft. That was kind of a big thing in Salem way back in the day. So, and it is certifiably spooky in the 2015 jump scare way, and also in the way that you get attacked by an enemy that is significantly more powerful than you are at your current level, no matter what level that is, unless you're like in the hundreds or something. And it resolves with something interesting as well. Don't want to spoil it too much, but this is one that I regret not doing, so This one, and then anything with Good Neighbor, basically, I regret not doing. And then maybe the Kendall Hospital one to see if it synergizes with Butcher's Bill. If you talk to the Bobrov brothers, they want you to help Travis, the radio host, to get his confidence back. He actually changes his lines on the radio if you do this quest and becomes more confident. We don't really listen to the radio because copyright strikes, so I can't really see a justifiable reason to do that. We could have seen Abbott at the Wall. This one I was planning on doing as part of my little side quest jaunt because you end up going and finding a paint mixer for him, and you have to mix green paint to paint the Fenway Park wall. You can paint it different colors and totally screw it up if you want to be like not a Boston Red Sox fan, but there you go. So yeah, and then you do that. I couldn't do this one though because Diamond City's currently locked off to me because I wanted to do that one quest at the end of the game. And last but not least is the combat zone. If you go to the combat zone, you kill a whole bunch of raiders that are in there, and then the companion that is inside there was doing cage fighting in the combat zone. But now that all the raiders are dead, she has nobody to fight, so basically you can take her along as a companion. Her name is Kate, and she is the lock-picking NPC companion. Kind of like how Nick can hack any terminal, given enough time. If you give Kate bobby pins, she can lock-pick any safe or any lock in the game. Again, given enough time. She can fail, and the higher the level of the lockpick, the more likelihood that she will just fail and eat up all your bobby pins. So that's no good. I guess if you're not going to level up your lockpicking and hacking, they can be useful, but in my particular case, not so much. I'm not really, like I said, a big fan of opening the high-end stuff because it's perk points that I could use on something else. Well, this is Malden. Something's shooting at... Okay. Something more is shooting at us. The Institute's shooting at us, Lancer. Get us the hell out of here. There's also a laser down there, but I don't think that was the Brotherhood shooting at the Brotherhood. Maybe it was, like, gunners or something. But that was Malden Center over there. Whole bunch of hospitals and stuff like that in that area. We never ended up going there, though, so... It's a thought, but not something we ended up doing. There's a lot of the world map that I would rather have gone and explored, but again, the game makes the story feel so high stakes, it's hard to justify after the first couple of episodes being like, yeah, okay, let's just go off and explore. It's like, no, my son's in danger. No, my son is regretting his life. No, my son is this, that, and the other thing. Lancer, I want you to make sure when you get back to Boston Airport, you tell Proctor Ingram to keep herself tuned to Radio Freedom. Because I'm about to make her job a hell of a lot easier. Okay. I have returned to Finch Farm, so let's give them some supplies while the vertibird goes away, shall we? Let's see. First things first, defenses, turrets. This turret, stick one down here. Yeah, that's probably a good spot. Nice little elevated position, you know. That'll probably work okay. Actually, before I do that, I want to take some of this stuff and, like, scrap it or store it. Because they have too much food. I don't think it's actually too much food, but I want to take a little bit of it away from them so that they don't have any problems with too many attacks, basically, because of the fact that their food supplies are and their water equals... I think as long as it's equal to the amount of resources, they're fine, but I just want to make sure. So I will do this and go from there. Yeah, that works. Okay, so now they have 15 resources and 16 defense.
Yeah.
So that should work out pretty okay.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you turn your back on us? On your family?
Guess it was because I was angry. I was angry at this life. The idea that I might never amount to anything more than just a farmer scraping by. I blamed Dad for that, and a lot of other things. It was wrong. I know that now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, don't expect everything to be the same as it
Preston
was.
trying to play the great mediator over there.
None of us can.
I know. One way or another, I'll earn your trust again. I swear it.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So, Preston, thought process occurs to me.
Hey.
Go ahead. Sure. Here's my supply.
These guys would probably appreciate it because this is their family heirloom, knowing that the Minutemen are using that for good things. So you can have that. And I'm also going to give you my alien blaster pistol because I'm not going to use it before the end game. So I'll just hand that to you and you can use it ad nauseum if you need it. This is probably the most gifts that Preston has ever gotten from any player who has ever played this game. But, well, you know. Not like I'm going to use them. Do I have the signal grenades equipped still? I do. Okay, so let's stick that right about there. Let's see if it goes. The terrain around here is a little wonky, so sometimes the vertibird, like you'll throw the signal grenade and it'll say, a vertibird cannot go to this location. Or something to that effect. But in this case, it did go, and we auto-saved right before we threw it, which meant basically that if it didn't go, I could have just reloaded the autosave, so... That's helpful. But now Finch Farm should be good. Let's look at the workshop for them. That's the wrong one. I should do this. Okay, the exclamation point is still there, but they have the proper resources. Again, this game is coming apart at the seams. Starting to get a little concerning. I need to get the hell out of here before all hell breaks loose. I'm also going to equip those homing beacons because I know what's coming when we get to the castle and I want to be prepared for it. So, let's see where this person sets down the bird. Okay, right on top of the smoke, that's fine. As long as they don't blow up my turret. They did not, by landing on it or something. Alright, one more ride. Get in, Preston, we're leaving! Hadvar, into the keep, soldier! We're leaving! Sorry, that's a different Bethesda game. At the rate I'm going, Lieutenant, I might actually have to shoot it because you're curving us around directly towards a gunner encampment, so that's gonna go just awesome. As they try to shoot us down. They're all down there, as you can plainly see by me getting zapped that once. And down there. That's the gunner's skull logo over there, so to give you an impression. Something else shooting at me. I don't know. Cars flying all over the place. I don't know what the hell's going on. The point is we're getting the hell out of here because I'm not even going to bother trying to see what it is and shooting at it because why would I? We're going to be out of the area in about 3 seconds, so. I think you can use the vertibirds for like a tactical airstrike, but easy city downs. Oh. They're using the old horse race track as a racetrack for robots. That's just great. Yeah, I think you can use the vertibirds for like a tactical like sweep airstrike where you kind of just rain hellfire on them with the minigun if you... Sir, are you going to go through the Pridwin again like that last one, or are you just going to go underneath it? You're going to kind of go underneath it and then glitch through. Again, I'm really glad that doesn't just like blow us up in the process, or else we would have had a very different kind of ending for this playthrough. Twice now. But yeah, you can like sweep if you tell them to go to some place and then you pass over the place you want to sweep, and then you reset the location. Like if you go to the map here, you can tell them to go to a different location from here, and then they'll change course and go to that location. So you can kind of just like sweep across the map by going in between two locations and having them go back and forth and shooting them down, raining hellfire on whatever's below you with the minigun. But yeah, I don't think it's strictly necessary. I do wonder what this Lancer is probably thinking at the moment now that they go down here and they can see that we have 5 artillery units, 2 of which are aimed directly at the Pridwin. What are they going to tell Elder Maxson? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Take us around and then set her down, Chief.
Never Thought
You
I'd
do
see our
that,
flag
Chief.
flying over the castle again.
It's a good feeling, huh, Preston? Alright, I'm gonna back out this way. Because I want to get away from Ronnie Shaw. Nice shish kebab, dude.
Hey,
Wonder who gave you that.
hold up a sec.
What is it?
So I can talk to Preston and then dismiss
You
him
can head home now.
to the castle itself. Because this way he's definitely at the castle and not like running
Know where
here
to
at
find me if you need
Mach 7 in order to participate in this quest. So. Okay, now that that's done, we can have a chat with Ronnie Shaw and get this whole thing started.
Made it in time, General. I guess we're about to find out if these new Minutemen really have what it takes. We've
So what's
seen
the
a lot of those
situation?
Institute crow things sniffing around.
Crow
Looks like
things.
they're getting ready to try to take us out.
Watcher, okay.
Volunteers.
Now it makes
We aren't
sense.
short of people.
Yeah, the crows
Greenhorns doing a real battle.
in the actual Commonwealth are not real
But it sure wouldn't hurt
crows.
to take a look around and shore up any weak points you see.
Well, let me check my workshop real quick there, Ronnie, to make sure. Yeah, no, the defense is back, so we're good. So, as I was saying, what was I saying anyway? Yeah, the crows that are littering the Commonwealth all over the place are not actual crows that just survived through the apocalypse to now. They are, I guess, synth crows of some kind. I don't know how the Institute managed that one. I didn't see anything in their files in bioscience about that one, but maybe they're just mechanical crows that just look a lot like the real thing. And that explains why I shot one of them and they didn't die, because they have hit markers because they are, synths and stuff, but they don't die. Not the way that you might think. Alright, let's see how they like Zhao's homing beacons here. See if I can see them first. Yeah, they're there. Zhao, show them what you've got. Ha! Nice. Now let's see if any more show up so I can throw more of these down. Yep, there we go. Legendary one. Oh, I love the little tactical nuclear strike that he gives you there. Throw our last one down. They've seen me. That's okay. Because we have a firing line. And keep me covered with the firing line. Because I have a plan. Alright, so defend the castle has begun. You will get periodic updates as you kill enough synths that the castle is being defended 10%, 20%, 30%. It'll go all the way up to 100%. They'll spawn in a bunch of different waves. You'll get a few breathers, and then they'll spawn in different locations, basically. I have a plan, however, on how to handle that. I mean, the turrets can probably handle basically everything that we were going to do, but as for me, I'm going to go here. I think I'm still in caution with the... I don't know, with something, I guess. But I guess it doesn't matter too terribly right now. Yeah, I'm still in caution with something, but no, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so let's hop on over here. See if we can do something about this. But what is this that I am talking about? Well, let me get my last signal grenade out. Because, as I said previously, yeah, so see, you'll get periodic updates as the castle gets defended. Now we're at 20%. It'll go up as you go. That was the... I think it's 5 waves, so the 20% is the end of wave 1, basically, and then it'll keep going. However, if you have done quests up to this point for the Minutemen and the Brotherhood, you can actually leave the quest to defend the castle and let them defend it themselves while you go off and start the other quest for the Brotherhood. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. This is not possible the way that we did the game normally. because I did not kill the railroad. You have to have the railroad killed in order to do this part. I only made this possible because of the set stage command that I used in order to clear through that quest without killing the railroad. My reasoning behind this is as such. The castle is being attacked by Institute synths and patrollers and coursers and all of that stuff. Giving the Brotherhood a golden opportunity to activate the robot that we just spent 10 hours building with them. Why in the hell would they cross their arms and say, well, they're not going to help you attack the Institute because you didn't help us kill the railroad, when we give them such a golden opportunity? So that's my thought process. If they're a tactical, military-based faction, they would take this opportunity and run with it. And because of that, and because of the fact that Dogmeat wanted to see the Brotherhood be the ones to finish this, because of the salutes back when we first saw Elder Maxon, we're getting the hell out of here. There's more super mutants over there. I must have missed one. That's okay. Just get us out of here and we'll be good. Hey, Amarella. How you doing? Welcome back. We are moving to the end game. Heading back to Boston Airport to pick Dogmeat up. And then we are going to march Liberty Prime directly up to the Institute's front door and knock it down. Doing good. Got dinner. Good. You have some food that you can munch on while we are busy doing all of this stuff. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope that Lancer gave Proctor Ingram the good word, so that she can be like, hey, so, should we, you know, do something about this? And Elder Maxon be like, I think we should. Considering the tactical advantage that she's just given us, yeah, I think we should. They'd be fools not to, is what I'm saying, which they normally are, but, you know. Hello, my boy.
Hey!
Ready to kick the door down?
Come on, boy. It's time to go.
Come on. Out your doghouse. We're getting to work. Attaboy. 2 chicken tenders, a handful of big, thick onion rings, and a King's Hawaiian roll from your local deli. Obviously, the roll is ordered in, but the chicken and rings are fresh. Nice. That sounds like a solid meal. Hopefully it's good for you. Well, hopefully it's good. I don't know if it'll be good for you, but hopefully it's good. Proctor?
This is it. Moment of truth.
Ah, good. You got the message.
Programmed Liberty Prime's battle coordinates into his navigational processor. As soon as he's under his own power, he'll head straight for the Institute. Elder Maxon wants you to follow, and make sure he arrives at the CIT in one piece.
I mean, to be fair, I did do everything else for you guys, so.
All we need to do is plug in the agitator, start Prime's reactor, and cross our fingers.
Okay, how long is it going to take to get him up and running there, Proctor? Because the castle is currently being attacked. We only have so much time.
If this works, how long before Liberty Prime will be ready for battle? The reaction should be almost instant. He'll be running under his own power in a matter of seconds.
Okay, that's
Look,
good.
I discussed it with Elder Maxon, and we think you should be the one who has the honor of starting Liberty Prime. Just plug the beryllium agitator into his reactor port, then head back down here and press the transfer button.
Sounds
Good
easy
luck,
enough.
Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
Thank you, Ingram. I will try not to drop the beryllium agitator and screw all of us over in the process. Only costs about $6 and comes with a 2-ounce thing of their in-house sauces. Oh, nice. Sounds good then. It's not too bad either. That's pretty cheap for a decent amount of food, it sounds like. Can't beat that. Especially nowadays, I go anywhere to eat here in the US and it costs me anywhere from $12 to $15 a meal. It's kind of ridiculous. Getting harder and harder to eat out. But, I mean, I guess that's to be expected. Food prices keep going up, you know, so. Down in Florida at that, okay, there you go. Yeah, our food prices up here are...
busy, and I'm not in the mood for talking.
Sorry, talking to someone in my chat, Dr. Lee. Power transfer switch. Yeah, up here our prices keep going up and it's becoming harder to keep going out.
All systems nominal. Weapons hot. mission. The destruction of any and all Chinese communists.
You did put the Institute in as the quote-unquote Chinese communists in his programming, right? I hope so.
Ad Victoriam.
Proceeding to target coordinates.
All right, come on, Dogmeat. We gotta escort Liberty Prime.
Of every American. Democracy is non-negotiable.
That's not actually true. He can get there of his own accord because he's large and in charge. He just gets stuck on the scenery sometimes. If I'm honest, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed with how this plays out. I distinctly recall in Fallout 3 this being like a whole set piece, you know what I mean? Like, it was only really one bridge. You had to escort him because the enemies were overwhelmingly powerful and had the chance of dealing some damage to him. I don't think he could die, or if he did, that would just cause a game over. But I remember it being like a set piece and there being like music playing in the background to kind of hype you up while it's happening. Here he just kind of take your robot for a walk kind of a thing. I'm going to stand well back from him though, because, excuse me, he mostly uses his nukes in this one.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Birthplace of American freedom.
And obviously, if he's using his nukes mostly, he will blow us the hell up if we walk anywhere near him. So, settlers, you might want to be a little careful. He's not very. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not exactly like discriminate with all this. Is that Doc Weathers' group? I don't remember. But yeah, so we gotta kind of slowly walk with him, essentially. Get irradiated from the nuclear bombs that he throws down. No big deal, we've got enough right away. I did already eat breakfast in-game. I did that before I saved, so that should help. You know, I might use the laser gun, actually, so I can build up a crit.
Communism is the very definition.
Maybe build up a crit. Get a couple of hits. Okay, there we go. We got a few hits off on him. And that's why I don't want to stand anywhere near him. Because of that. That will do it. Yes, that will kill us. I don't have the dense mod for my armor, so that will definitely kill us. We got that one. Nice work there, Prime. Hate being here, and if you didn't own a bar here, you'd have fucking moved years ago. This state sucks. My uncle is also not very happy with Florida either. He lives down that way. And he's not exactly the happiest person about it. He moved there because he was military. So he could kind of move wherever, and he said, I'm gonna move down there.
Probability of mission hindrance, 0%.
I guess he's going aquatic. I didn't know he could do this. I don't think he could in Fallout 3, to be fair. But since he's going aquatic, we're going aquatic.
Communism is death. Anchorage will be liberated.
So yeah, basically the gist of this mission, he does basically all the work for you. You just kind of have to take him for a walk, follow up behind him somewhat, and listen to him spew generalized Fallout-based capitalist propaganda for about 20 minutes while he walks his way to CIT. With fairly calm music in the background, unless there's a battle going on. Which, I mean, I guess that's fine. I'll try to contribute where I can, but, you know. That's another mission up there, the USS Constitution, that I regret not doing. The only reason why I didn't end up doing it is because it has a lot of running around back and forth and having you go to different locations to find things. If you don't have enough intelligence to just make the parts that they need yourself, which I don't. So I would have had to run a whole bunch of different places. And I said, you know what, I don't really feel like doing all that. So I ended up doing Captain Zhao's mission instead and said, you know, that's probably fine. Okay, well. Let's see if we can hit this guy. I mean, I probably can just by, you know, doing one of these. I was going to say, it's probably not going to work out too well considering the fact that he's not at full health. Okay, that guy's dead.
Tango down.
I'll just follow back behind him and see if we can get some pot shots in where we can. He can step on you, by the way, so that's why we're kind of trying to walk about a dozen units of distance behind him, because I don't feel like getting blown up, and I don't feel like getting stepped on. Neither of the above will end well for me, so, you know. Yeah, that's also true. The USS Constitution's intelligence checks for fixing the parts of the ship are the only skill check quest in the base game, yes. So there were a bunch of different skill checks in other games, like New Vegas specifically had a bunch of them, where you can basically use the skills that you've leveled up in order to get different dialogue and do different things in the game, fix things that you couldn't fix otherwise. Fallout 4 mostly eschews those, except in the case of the USS Constitution. So, also Liberty Prime saluted Bunker Hill, and that's just silly. Puts a smile on my face, I suppose. Supposedly a quest made super early on, and then they went, that was annoying to get working for, and gave no other quest that skill check option. Yeah, until, I think in Far Harbor they have a few more of those options. But the base game, they didn't really want to try as hard, I guess. Let's see if I can hit him from this distance. Oh, I got one hit, got two. Okay, I got 2 hits. Probably not going to have too many more than that. Let's see if I can get up on this one behind him. Usually if Liberty Prime doesn't get these guys, the Brotherhood ends up cleaning them up for you, so it's kind of hard to contribute significantly to the battle here. But I'll do the best I can. He just killed one of the initiates, so that's great. Hope that guy wasn't looking forward to going home after this.
Initialized. Location: the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Birthplace of American freedom.
You mentioned that already, actually. He'll say a whole bunch of different lines depending on where he goes. I kind of wish they would, like, make sure that there was a flag or something in there where he wouldn't say the same things twice, because he has quite a few silly lines that he says, and I don't know. It would have been fun to hear all of them, but, you know. Is that a missile launcher? Holy shit. Better keep my head down. Prime, maybe take care of the missile launcher guy, please. Thank you. I think. Nope, they're still at it because they're still shooting between his legs. There he goes again. You don't have to worry about Prime taking too much damage from anything, by the way. He's got like 5 million HP or something ridiculous like that, so he'll just... And as far as I know, he's basically completely intangible damage, so... If not, then... Well, I guess I can check. Yeah, see, like, look, he either has such a high healing factor or he's completely immune to damage, so... Add that to the 5 million HP and he'll never die. Like, there's no possible chance of him dying, so... Don't worry about it. Just let him roll and follow after him and, you know, find the trail of dead bodies that he leaves in his wake. That was a firework outside. I apologize. My neighbors are a bunch of dickheads.
Weapons ready.
Weapons ready for what? Oh, hang on. I think I see it. Yeah, a behemoth. Alright, well, let's see if we can get a hit in on him. Nope, couldn't hit him. Can probably hit him like this, but okay, well, not gonna have to anymore. Goodbye.
Mission accomplished.
Just swats him aside like a fly. If he's targetable in VATS, he's targetable in the console with a kill command. You're curious what would happen. We can quick save and find out. I could have done it wrong, but apparently nothing. I did click on him though, so I'm gonna assume that means nothing. Let's quick load just in case.
Come here. Let me end your suffering.
That's an interesting battle cry. What do you guys got? Another missile launcher guy? Jesus, how many of these raiders have missile launchers out here? Okay, well, I saw 2 that I could shoot. Oh, he's still there. Damn it. Yeah, I can't see through all the smoke. I hope you guys can see, because I sure as hell can't. Oh, that's a missile. Okay. See it in slow motion. Oh, they got him. Okay. Do you need a stim pack, sir? You're looking a little under the weather. Anyway, I think he's gonna get that one, so I'll just let him. Walked a little too close for comfort there, but you know. I believe these raiders respawn every few days, so like, you know, what a way to go. Jesus. Because these are the ones that attacked us the one time on the way to Green Tech, I want to say. Maybe? No, it was before that. I don't remember why we were in this area before that.
Communism, the very definition of evil.
You, really skewed the dictionary with your propaganda, didn't you, there, Liberty Prime? Anyway. It's getting to be nighttime. They'll never know what hit them because they all probably expected, oh, okay, well, let the synths handle it and we can go to bed. So, 5 million health is spot on for the big guy, by the way. Yeah, I actually looked it up before I did this to make sure I was correct because I was like, how much health does he really have? Because I kind of want to see, because I think in Fallout 3 he had a lot less health. He still had, like, a big chunk, but not, like, that much. And so I looked it up and I was like, oh, he has 5 million HP and is basically completely intangible to damage. Cool. That's helpful.
Cultural database accessed. Quoting New England poet Robert Frost. Freedom lies in being bold.
I see a laser Gatling going on over here. I wonder who's joining the fight now. Elder Maxon. Elder Maxon is joining the fight now. He is out of the cockpit and shooting some people. As am I from across the map. Oh my god. Okay, gotta slow myself down. Or I'm gonna get blasted a little bit. Like, okay, hang on, dying. Hold on. Don't know what that was all about. Something exploded directly next to me and I took a direct hit. And also, let me stand back from Prime, let him get in here. So. Hello, baby Maxon, all grown up and probably a little racist. Just a little. A lot. Like, complete change to his character from Fallout 3. You know, he was such a good boy in 3. I don't know what happened. He switched characters with McCready. That's my impression, anyway.
Keep those synths away from Prime, soldier.
Can do. I don't know if I have to do that to get them to spawn, but I did it anyway. Alright, let's head over here, see if we can get these guys that are trying to flank us and flank them, like this is XCOM. My inputs are too fast. Hold on. There we go. Oh my god, that's a lot of guys right on top of me. Okay, you'll die in 3. Let's hit your other friends here. No, he didn't die in 3. You, however... Oh, hang on. Wait for his head to poke out. Gotcha!
Warning. Subterranean Red Chinese compound detected.
You could call it that. I don't know how Captain Zhao would feel about that distinction.
Opposition. Sand. Gravel. And communism.
I'm sure it is, big guy. I'm sure it is.
To restore democracy.
Damn, Maxon's pretty good with that Gatling laser, isn't he? Let's get rid of this guy first.
Minimum safe distance.
What's minimum safe distance, big guy?
Or you be eradicated.
Okay, got that guy. Hang on, I've got a crit. He's using a mining laser. See? Well, it's really just a big laser rather than a mining laser. Lights up the sky, though. I'm sure it does, sir. Alright, I've been heavily irradiated over the course of this mission, so let's use some Radaway now. There we go. Get rid of that. Stim pack.
Obstruction eliminated.
Okay. Right next to Prime. Sorry about the fireworks. There's nothing I can do about that. Hopefully it's not too loud on the microphone there.
5.
I need to move out of this goddamn neighborhood because these people are way too non-conducive to anything to do with going on a microphone. Can you imagine if I had an ASMR channel? I probably would have, like, called the cops on these people by now. Anyway, that takes care of that. Now, you may have noticed something. By completing Ad Victoriam, well, getting as close to completing Ad Victoriam as possible without entering the Institute itself, we actually completed Defend the Castle. It doesn't work the other way around, though. If you complete Defend the Castle, all of your Brotherhood quests fail. So if you had Ad Victoriam or Tactical Thinking or any of that stuff and you did the Minutemen ending, those quests would fail. But if you go in the opposite direction, you can complete both quests and get the rewards from it. So. As to your prior comment on sauce, they have a really good mango habanero one that you got. Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't had a really good mango habanero in a long time, honestly. It just, I don't know if it's just something that they can't do up here. We of course have buffalo style wings up here, so that's like what every wing place around here is good at. So a lot of the other ones, it's like, it's okay, but it's not as good as the buffalo style stuff. So anyway.
Communism is a temporary setback on the road to freedom.
We have to go into the Institute. Dogmeat, where'd you go? Where's my boy? There's my boy. Buddy?
Hey.
Here's the problem. You know how the Institute won't allow you to go into the Institute at all? Well, unfortunately, that is also the case in the final mission of this game. You cannot take Dogmeat into the Institute in the final mission of this game. He is taken out of your party the second that you walk through the hole that Liberty Prime just bored in the CIT ruins. So, let's do one last Teddy with him. 0 out of 10 unplayable. Not really, but very disappointing that I can't take my boy in when this playthrough is dedicated to him. So go back with the Brotherhood, okay, buddy? I will meet you back on the Pridwin once we're all done.
Alaska's liberation.
This is the finale. We're done threading the needle. Yes, we are. Liberty Prime just bored a hole in the CIT ruins so we can go inside. I can't take Dogmeat in with me. I'm incredibly disappointed. My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. Let's go ruin my son's day. What's the next plan? So the next planned stream is going to be my the first of my PS3 projects. I cannot tell you what game it is just yet. You'll find out on Thursday. But it will be a game that lives in infamy. That's what my schedule says anyway. That might be too obvious, but we'll see. Elder?
The mission is proceeding as planned, Paladin. Well done. Our next target is the reactor. If anything tries to slow us down, I'm ordering you to destroy it. Man or machine.
I will try not to kill all the synths in the process.
Attach it to the reactor, and it can be detonated remotely from a safe distance. It will be more than enough to annihilate the Institute in its entirety.
Okay, then.
You're to remain here and teleport us out when the job is done. Get that thing working.
And we get the fusion pulse charge to blow up the reactor that they managed to activate without the beryllium agitators. How? So that's cool. You are physically mute and you still groaned at that. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I think it was too obvious of one, but you know. Hey, you guessed the fucking Sonic 06 run just from the hint you gave because of trauma flashbacks. Yeah, and I shared my trauma with the world, so at least now it's out in the open. You know, I didn't mention it earlier. I probably should have mentioned it because Sturges and Preston and I went over this in between streams when we took care of looking at the radio scanner. The railroad is currently unknown to the Brotherhood. The Minutemen, after defending the castle, are sending a signal to the railroad. This is headcanon, by the way. This is not how it actually works. Whatever factions you don't go into the Institute with do absolutely nothing during this part. It doesn't matter how many missions you've done with them or how gung-ho they are about saving the synths or killing the synths or just being there like the Minutemen are. They do nothing in this part. But headcanon-wise, Z1 has all the weapons. The railroad is in contact with him currently because the castle just got defended, so that was a distraction, basically. The castle Institute attack was a distraction to give the Brotherhood an opportunity to get into the Institute. And while both of them are distracted, the railroad is currently connecting with Z1 and escorting them out through the escape tunnel, which is below the Institute, there's an escape hatch down in the maintenance section near where we helped Z1 and the synths block off that section and construct their weapons. So the railroad is currently hooking up with them to get them out of there, and I have explicitly told them if any of the scientists want to go with the synths, let them go. We are not about to kill all of these people.
I'll make sure this teleporter is working by the time you need it.
Sounds like a plan there, Proctor. All right, let's hit it. Good, just finished dinner. How are you? Trying not to feel badly. At least you get paid Friday. That will be helpful. Yes, that will be very helpful. Also, man, look at all those drugs you aren't going to use. Yeah, we got, 7 great mentats, 5 mysterious serums, which these are busted, but probably would also make me in-universe immortal if it did the same thing to me as it did to the Cabots. So, don't know if I want that. All this Rad-X and Rad-Away that I won't need. Some food. 159 stim packs. This game hands you this stuff, like, way too much. That stuff is just way too common. There needs to be less of it, because it sort of makes the game balanced towards the easy part. You don't have to think when you go into a place like, do I need more medicine or should I get more ammo? You just kind of...
Is the Institute?
Brandis?
I'm disappointed. I expected more from
Oh,
him.
good. They gave him full combat armor and a Gatling laser. Thank God. Maybe he'll actually survive through this mission. Brandis is very similar to Sheffield, from my understanding, in that he does not regenerate health.
Over here.
So that's problematic because it means he'll probably die in this mission. Oop, that guy ducked. Okay, Maxon. You're really going gung-ho with that thing. If I remember correctly, he has a special, oh no, that's Brandis, never mind. But Maxon has actually a special, Gatling laser, if I remember right, that has the rapid legendary effect. I don't quite recall, but...
Going weapons cold.
I think that's how it works. So... Let's see. Oh, okay. They can see me, but I can't see them. That's fun. It's 1, 2.
No mercy.
Get rid of the patroller with the crits. I got to try to do as much as I can here because, everybody else is trying to do all the hard work while I sit here and get carried. You bumped up the difficulty and still have 150 plus stim packs. Yes, I know. It's kind of absurd, if I'm honest with you. Very hard bumps the difficulty up a little bit more because you take more damage and deal less damage as well. I've never really been a big fan of the way that games do that. A lot of Bethesda's difficulty I haven't really been a big fan of because it's like, that's all it really does is the difficulty, is it bumps down the amount of damage that you deal and increases the amount of damage that you take. I don't know, it just never really appealed to me. I prefer it when there's like more skill required on higher difficulties. And that's not really something that needs skill. That's more of something that just, it's like, okay, well, it's just going to result in me quick saving more often. Okay. So. Why am I shooting the barrel? I could shoot this for 93. By the way, if you got the high-end perception perk Penetrator, you can actually shoot through the turrets to hit their combat inhibitors if you have enough accuracy. Sometimes it's hard to hit them because you get a decrease in accuracy for the first rank of it. But if you take the second rank, you don't have an accuracy drop when you shoot through things. You just, shoot through them like you have armor-piercing rounds equipped all the time. It's kind of nuts.
The heck? What was that?
It was what you think it is. Go ahead and get rid of the guy I already shot. There we go. I should get this out. There we go. Let them do a little bit of damage while I do a little bit more. Are they both synths? No, this is a patroller. So, let's get rid of him before that becomes 0%. There we go. And that guy's dead. Yeah. I'm not even going to bother picking up the ammo. If you have high enough hacker, I think you can stick the sentry bot on them. But I don't have high enough hacker for those terminals that could do that, so we'll just do it this way. a fusion core that I won't need. Maybe I should give it to Brandis so he can shoot things better. Let's see. Oh, you'd hate Etrian Odyssey then. Modern games have difficulty select, but also give you a damage penalty while you take more. Like, think for the first Untold game, it's 100% more taken, dealt, and healed for normal. For advanced, 67% dealt, 133% damage taken, and 100% damage healed. So you literally just die faster and can't kill as fast. And I mean, in some ways, it can be okay if you do that, because sometimes normal difficulty just feels too easy, you know what I mean? So sometimes all you need is just that little tweak. But as you get higher and higher in difficulties, I feel like they need to do other things with the difficulty in order to make it feel more difficult organically, rather than just you kill slower and die faster, because that sort of just centralizes certain tactics where you end up either turtling up or you end up abusing the game's systems in order to not die as fast, because you power level certain things and take advantage of cheese and all that other stuff. So, you know. Alright, Institute Bioscience. More like evaporate on advanced. Enemies on the first floor can kill you, like one-shot you. Oh my god. That's great. Looks like we're getting inside. I think I've been in this room, actually. Hang on, I'm out of bullets. Reloading before we get in. I was recommended a bunch of the Etrian Odyssey HD games, by the way, Marie, so I'm sure that can make you a little happy. Okay, something's shooting at them. I don't know what it is, but something's shooting at them. Okay. You know, I'm gonna let them do this while I go for a quick run, because the farther that I run, the quicker that I run, the less people that they just wantonly murder while I go in here. So, yeah, this is close to the Institute. Were they really just underneath the CIT ruins? Yes. And no one thought to, you know, dig through the rubble that they collapsed behind them when they got there. So that's fun. Oh, there's a courser in here that I can't really see.
Over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you guys give me some hit markers on this guy? Because I can't see him, but you sure as hell seem to be able to. I'm gonna try to protect Brandis for as long as I can. He's, like I said, he doesn't regenerate health, so there's a very high likelihood that he will not survive. And that's just really unfortunate, honestly. 74. There you go. Okay. Got the crit. We built it. Let's use it. Friggin' matrix bullets. You guys taking care of the other ones? Yep. Okay. As for these... Okay, hang on. Yeah, this is just a Strider, so I should be able to build up the crit with this guy a little bit. A little stronger than most Striders, though, this one. Hang on. Let me go to this. A scientist just deciding he wants to randomly rush directly at a person with a Gatling laser? That doesn't seem so smart. Alright, then. If that's what you want to do, sir, I feel like that's not going to be very good for your health, but, you know. Did I reload this? Yes, I did. Good. Oh, XPN-20A. That is a legendary synth. Interesting. Wonder what they've got going on in their little bag of tricks. I'll check that out in a second.
We've located the reactor. It's accessible through the Advanced Systems Division. Only, you can't reach it.
Oh.
The security override can only come from the Director's terminal. You'll need to access his quarters.
So I guess I gotta go see my son then, huh? Assassin's leather chest piece. Okay, I mean, I guess that's fine. It makes sense for you to have that, considering we're all human. Hey, Metroid, how you doing? Welcome back. Yes, we're finally dealing with these fuckers, and now I have to go deal with my son. What enemy is left up here? Is it just a scientist that they're just leaving alive? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, good. You do that. Should have made that teleporter take them to another state or something. Yeah, that probably would have worked out a little better for them than just kind of turtling up in here, but I don't know. The consequences of their actions came too quickly, I guess. I didn't really mention it, so I guess since everybody's here now, I can finally explain my plan before I go talk to my son about the stalemate that I have just attempted to create in headcanon, really, in the Commonwealth. So, the castle is here. It was successfully defended by the people that were there, because when you complete Ad Victoriam, defend the castle gets completed. We have artillery at the castle. Now, the gunners that kicked Preston and the rest of the Minutemen out of Quincy are down in this area somewhere. And you better believe, with the castle that close to Quincy, they're going to want to finish the job over there. However, if they attack the castle, the general of the Minutemen is also a high-ranking member of the Brotherhood of Steel. So they would not only be attacking the Minutemen if the gunners attack the castle, they'd also be attacking the Brotherhood of Steel. And now that Liberty Prime is both online and pretty much completely invincible to damage, they could just march Liberty Prime directly into the Quincy ruins and annihilate every single gunner in the area. I mean, hell, Amarella and I tried to kill Liberty Prime with the kill console command, and it did absolutely nothing to the absolute unit, so nothing will ever stop him. He will just completely annihilate them. Now, does that mean the Brotherhood has maximum power? Well, I mean, they could sick Liberty Prime on whatever they want if they so choose, but if they decide to do that, the Minutemen have artillery pointed directly at the Pridwin, so they will destroy their home base of operations, and then, I mean, I guess they still have Liberty Prime, but without the base of operations, what can they really do with them, you know? So I have sort of tried to create this three-way stalemate where the gunners are stuck down here doing fuck all because they can't attack the Minutemen without also attacking the Brotherhood, and the Brotherhood won't just do what they want here because the Minutemen can literally gun for their home base. So that was the plan. That was the stalemate that I have created. Is it optimal? No, but if you really want an optimal stalemate, you need to beat the entire game with the Minutemen without really interacting with the Brotherhood or the Railroad at all, and you miss out on a lot of story in that particular case, so... You know, hey, it worked in the Cold War, it can work again. Yeah, so I guess I've created a cold stalemate. Not optimal, but it is what we can do with it, so... It's the best I've got, anyway. Hell, after I'm done with this mission, we'll be an even higher ranking member of the Brotherhood, so that's gonna work out nicely, I guess. But I can't worry about that right now. What I have to worry about is my son. My poor son, who was never fixed after they shook him as a baby. My poor son, who was indoctrinated to the way of living of the Institute for his entire life. He could have been anything. I wanted him to be a professional baseball player. But we don't always get what we want. Sean? I would ask if you're okay, but I already know the answer to that question.
Come to see the reactor, have you? We got it working without you.
Where did you guys find the beryllium to do that? Also.
I'm sorry it's come to this, Sean.
You're sorry. You can't be that sorry if you're here going through with it.
That is a heavily pre-conventional way of looking at things, my son.
Now you plan on what? Destroying everything? Tell me then. Under what righteous pretense have you justified this atrocity?
The establishment that created you cannot stand because you can't fix something like this from the inside, Sean.
All the enemies you've created. You can't imagine why I'd be standing here.
Perhaps I didn't think to count you among them.
You sure were quick about releasing me, though.
None
if that's what you thought.
Now, I suppose. You'll accomplish your task and ruin humanity's best hope for the future. The only question left then is why you're standing here. Is it regret? Or did you just come to gloat?
I will regret this day for the rest of my life, Sean, because nothing that I do will ever make me forget having to do this to you and what you've built. But...
Sean, if you help me, fewer people will die. Will you?
Why would I ever consider helping you?
Help me, and we can try and minimize the casualties in all this. You want your people to survive, don't you?
Very well. The terminal behind me. Enter access code 9003. That will disable some of the synths.
Okay.
Now go. Just leave me.
Thank you, son. You're gonna save a lot of lives today. Take the 44 and release him from the agony of life. Yeah, if we were playing as a different character, I might consider that, but I feel like this is hard enough for Charlotte without having to just shoot her son in the head. That's a fucking code I would have made. That's not a good thing. Well, you not only needed his terminal password to get this, you also need that code, so it's not a good code. I mean, it probably could have been a different pin with like letters and numbers and something else in it, but anyway, because we're not heartless monsters, let's engage the evacuation protocol so that anybody who didn't get the memo to go with Z1 and the rest of the railroad can get out of here. Master security lockdown override. Now we can get to the reactor if we so choose. And on top of that, I don't think Glory's going to like this too much, but we're going to shut down some of the Gen 1 and 2 synths that are in the way. Not that that matters too much, because I've mostly just been running past them right now because, you know, I went through basically all of bioscience without killing anything because, again, the faster I get through these places, the less innocent lives that the Brotherhood accidentally ends because I control the pace. They aren't going through the door without me. I go through the door and then they come with me, no matter what they were doing in the previous room. 8008 is a superior code, absolutely. I love 8008.
Looks like a path should be clear to the reactor.
It's one of my favorite 4-digit codes.
That reinforcements have arrived.
Good. Good to hear. Hopefully they can relieve Brandis of his duty, because he's at like half health right now. I hate to see the guy die, even though he almost always does. I've actually tested this a couple of times, and he every single time dies. Like, I can't save him. I'm just not good enough. But yeah, some of the synth patrollers are, well, taken care of. Also, there's still shooting out here, so that's fun.
Another victory for the Brotherhood.
Are you guys still shooting innocent people out here? I mean, I know that's the price of freedom, but, like, you guys really need to get the memo. Get out of here. 50 caliber bullets, don't mind if I do. Alright, advanced systems a go-go. All we gotta do is make our way through here. Excuse me, Maxon. I don't want anything to do with you. I just wanna get rid of these guys. So. Okay. Let's get through here before they kill all of the scientists in the process. Alright. Final stretch, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's a turret. Was a turret. 2 turrets. 3 turrets! Ah. I just felt like listening to my 44 there again because we're probably only going to get to shoot it maybe once or twice for the rest of the playthrough. Well, that seems to be where we're going. That looks like the reactor to me. Trying to move as quickly as I can without us getting spotted immediately there, Maxon. You had a nice white peach mochi for dessert? That sounds like a very good. It sounds like something that's gonna make me hungry. Curse you, Sesame Street! That's a scientist. I don't want to shoot the scientists. Again, I feel like Glory wouldn't like it if I shot the Gen 1 synths either, but, you know. Also getting heavily irradiated again. That's a scientist that I just shot after saying I don't want to shoot the scientists. Z4K97B. Allow me to introduce you to my gun. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I can get rid of turrets, or you can get rid of turrets. Watch out, Brandis! I'm trying to save you this time! Okay, got him on the first 2 shots, good. Wait for it, I know it's a scientist. I hit one of those shots, please. Another scientist, oh my god. So there's another turret up there. There we go. Looks like one guy left. I should probably take a rad X. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Threat neutralized.
Let's get this done, Paladin.
Is Brandis alive? Brandis is alive! Hell yeah, dude! We got them all. Also, I'm getting heavily irradiated, so let me do this. I'll probably use, you know, I wonder if I should use one of these instead of, I mean, I have the hazmat suit, but I wonder if I should use one of these while I heavily irradiate myself inside of the thing. I'll leave this up to chat. Should we make Charlotte immortal by using this mysterious serum instead of the hazmat suit, or should we allow her to release herself from her mortal coil by not using the serum? Minus 36,000 rads, what's the catch? The only catch is that you become immortal because the Cabots used Lorenzo Cabot's blood to make this serum and he was immortal, so. Yeah, like you said, the inside of this reactor is the highest rad location in the game, if you remember correctly. If you have high enough hacking, you can reduce the amount of rads that you take by hacking the expert terminal outside, but I don't have high enough hacking, so. I guess we can show you how many rads we're dealing with here, so that I can give you a good impression of how bad this is going to be. So let me quick save right here. Here's the rad amounts that we're dealing with. Also, try not to touch anything else. So yeah, like plus 71 rads, and I'm not even as close as possible to the thing, but you saw how quickly that was dwindling my HP bar. So, what do we think? Hazmat suit or mysterious serum? Don't have enough of a supply, it'll just extend her lifespan. That's also true, yeah. Because we'll get more years out of it if we use all 5 of them eventually, but, you know. We'll be immortal, but not really. Like, we'll be prolonged in life. Hazmat suit, like, Christ. That's a lot of rads, yes. You die in about 10 seconds in there. And again, I wasn't even pressing my face up against the thing. You probably take about 100 rads a second there, and the maximum amount you can take is 1,000. Unless you do something in Far Harbor. That's a fun build, but, you know. We won't get there because we won't be playing Far Harbor. I can, however, say this about Far Harbor. If you enjoyed what you saw in this game, or enjoyed any aspect of it, Far Harbor is basically everything that this game did, except it shores up a lot of the weaknesses that it had, and it plays on some of the strengths that it already had. So it's effectively just a better version of this. We won't be playing it, but there you go. Terminal's over there.
Let's get this done, Paladin.
Working on it. Maybe don't walk in here with me, Maxon. I don't feel like you'd get out of here with your hair still intact.
I think it's time to leave this place to its fate.
All right, then. Let me put my clothes back on. Maybe Rad X while I'm at it. Maybe 2 Rad X while I'm at it.
Dr. Ingram, do you copy?
I'm still taking 1 Rad.
I need you to transport us out of here immediately.
Okay, we'll see all of you on the other side. Brandis, I hope you're coming with me. Yeah, he never lives. Like, I've done it a couple of times in a test, and he, like, every single time he always walks in super gung-ho and then gets himself killed. So I'm glad that he lived this time. I tried to be a little more aggressive this time than I was, so maybe that did it.
Our work here is done. Dr. Ingram, it's time to teleport us out.
Sorry, Elder, I would, but, well, this child showed up. He claims to be the Paladin's son, sir.
Oh boy. One last kick in the balls, huh, Fallout 4?
Please, Mom, don't leave me here. I want to go with you.
Wait, hang on, back up. What do you mean?
Why did you call me Mom?
What? You're my mother. Why else would I call you that?
Who told you? Kid, we've had like 2 conversations. How is this possible?
Who told you I was your mother?
What do you mean? Nobody told me. You just are.
This is just what I need right now.
I'm not a baby, and I'm old enough to take care of myself. The only help I need is to get out of here. Now can we please go?
Okay. Controversial decision time. Taking Sean with you. Synth Sean. from a me standpoint, this is not from a Charlotte standpoint, I hate the option of even taking him with you. He's a walking plot contrivance. Let's remember now, Dr. Lee's log that we listened to back in Advanced Systems. She mentioned in it that implanting memories into a synth is like... Okay, so, and it's sort of weird, too, because, like, I think about it, and it's like, okay, they implant memories into a synth at the memory den. The Institute says implanting memories is, like, miles ahead of anything that they're currently doing. How does that agree with itself? Dr. Lee says that it's next to impossible. She's one of the best scientists in the Institute. We get her out of the Institute with the Brotherhood, and then not only do they do all the tests they need to do to implant him with memories, they actively do it despite being down a scientist. Somehow. So now he has all of my son's memories, specifically from when he was 10 years old. I don't understand how they did that. It's really odd. And yeah, Metroid could be right. He could be just trying to save his own ass right now. Let's also think back to the thing that we talked about with Synth Sean, though, that Charlotte is aware of, because let's just say she heard the conversation rather than following the people around like a stalker for hours. Let's just say that she got on a terminal or something, heard about it. Synth Sean has Peter Pan syndrome. He will never grow up whatsoever. He will always be 10 years old, even if his mind as a Gen 3 synth starts to age and mature, the organic aspects of it. He will never be able to grow up. The only way that he'll ever be able to be a functional adult would be like heavy cybernetic implants to make him taller and more powerful, like to the point where he's where he is or supposed to be as an adult. He will always be a kid. We know this from the dialogue that we heard. Also, because of the fact that I decided to blow up the Institute with the Brotherhood, taking him back with the Brotherhood would turn him into a child soldier that the Brotherhood would raise. He'd end up exactly like Maxon. But moreover than that, the game is trying to say, here's your son, the son that you worked for, the son that you always wanted, and he's at an age where he's still impressionable. Will you take him with you? And I just don't think that's a healthy way of doing this, because it will be a constant reminder of all of the shit that Charlotte had to go through here. Like, every time she looks at him, she'll remember all the shit that she went through with her son. And I just don't think that's a healthy way to be mentally. Like, the only way that she's ever going to be able to move on from this is if we leave this kid to his fate. So...
You're not going anywhere with me. You're not my son.
But you can't just leave me here. I don't want to die. Please, just think about it for a second.
I've thought about it for a second, kid. I know this is going to sound hypocritical considering what I did with the railroad, but...
You're not Sean. You're not Sean. You're a robot made to think you're real.
You're just gonna leave me here? I can't believe it.
You're thinking about this way more than Bethesda did. It's a very loaded decision. Yeah, I know. Can't move on with him. Gotta move on without him.
All right, Ingram. Fire it up.
Hang on. You're telling me you leave that kid here to die? He's your son.
He's not, Ingram.
He's a synth, Ingram. He's not really my son.
Are you kidding me? The Institute made synths that look like children?
And synths that will never grow up, yeah.
Except that they deserve what's coming to them.
You're clear to go then. Ready?
Let's get out of here before this tragedy gets worse.
Absolutely. Let's get out of here.
You got it, Paladin.
I'm sending you to the detonation site. I'll set the relay to send the last of us to the Pridwin and make sure everyone is out. When that reactor goes up, this place will be nothing but a smoking crater full of rubble. Should be quite a sight.
Won't that, like,
the work here is done.
Heavily irradiate the entire area around the explosion to the point where no one will ever be able to live around there ever again? Isn't that a little counterintuitive? Whatever. Let's get out of here. If you take Synth Sean with you, he has some side quests that he can have you do in the post-game.
It will be outside the blast radius. Press that button, and you not only defeat our enemy,
and you get a unique laser rifle for doing it with him. I don't remember what it does.
The Institute and their synth abominations must be eradicated.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Maxon, but the synth abominations mostly got out of the Institute because I cleared the evacuation order and also worked with Z1 to make sure that they did. But that is headcanon, so let's just do this and get this over with. Here we go again. I suppose at least this time I didn't get frozen.
I can feel it wash over me. The heat, the force, the radiation, the fear. It's the end of the world, all over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this, before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This was not the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth. My home. Ripped apart and put back together. I thought I hoped I could find my family. Cheat time, make us whole again, the way we were. But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed, but the road ahead will be hard. This time I'm ready. Because I know war. War never changes.
Did a good job with the narration there. I generally think that the voice actors for the main characters did a good job with their lines. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer one or the other. It's kind of one of those things that a lot of people don't like about the game. And I mean, I can see where they come from, because before it was like you could kind of roleplay as a character in your head. Now, because they have a voice, it's harder to roleplay as a specific character, because no matter how you headcanon the character, they'll always sound a certain way. So, yeah, it's tough for me to choose which one's better. I think I have a personal bias towards... I think is it Christine Taylor? I think that's her name. That's the female soul survivor, Nora. Or Charlotte in this case. But I think I have a personal bias towards her because she was Jack in Mass Effect 2 and 3 before this. So, like, I already know what she's capable of. The other guy I've never heard of before this game, so... Don't know if it's a gameplay thing, but pre-war nuclear warheads seem very different from any nuclear detonations happen after the war. Yeah, you're probably right, honestly. Like, it just seems... like the ones that happen here don't irradiate as heavily as they did. Yeah, she was Jack. Yeah, that's pretty funny. She was Jack previous to this, yes. So, all right, well, we did a hell of a thing today.
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
You've done an exemplary job here, Paladin. Without your unwavering loyalty to our cause, this
yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Have been possible.
So it's over then.
So, we've won?
Absolutely, sister. The Institute has been wiped clean from the face of our world.
You know, unless the scientists that did get out decide to do something else
and begin one anew.
I guess, I feel like at this point the happy face is kind of not how I would put this. Let's
get to it.
I'm pleased that you're anxious to continue your service for the Brotherhood.
That's not what she means. Did you not hear the lethargy in her voice? She just had to kill her son.
We'll decide what needs to be done.
Anyway, that's it. That's the end of the Institute. The nuclear option complete. We've leveled up. Twice, for that matter. I didn't do the one that we got when we finished out the Institute, but we're at level 36.
I'm too busy to speak right now.
For some reason, I don't know why. This happened before as well when I did the test run before this, but you get like 1770 experience, but you get it twice. I'm not really sure why that happens, but you know, hang on, I can't do it anymore.
I'm occupied at the moment. We'll speak later.
I can, however, do this. So we've got 2 level ups banked. We're almost at level 37. I have no waking idea what to buy here, but I do know that what the tragedy that Charlotte just had to endure is not something that anyone should really have to endure, because there is no pain like having to lose your child. So because she has to endure that, let's increase her endurance, shall we? Oh, man. Alright, well, anyway, that's that. Only thing left now is to return to the Pridwin. Get our mission report from Maxon once we all get there. I have to make sure my boy is okay, though. I hope we made it back in time. Unwavering loyalty. As Charlotte laughs, pitting multiple factions against each other. I feel like at this point Maxon would kind of be like, well, what am I supposed to do about this lady? Like, I could accuse her of high treason and get her put before the council, but if I go to the litany about this, the litany, by the way, is the council that talks about their, like, they uphold the formal rules of the Brotherhood. But I feel like if I go before the litany, they're going to be like, oh, okay, so Maxon, do you want to explain why you blew up the largest cache of pre-war technology or post-war high technology that we have ever found in the United States before you talk about this lady committing high treason? Maybe you should explain that first, huh? Institute was built on the back of pre-war science and generations of people iterating on the place. I think it's safe to say nothing like that can exist again. True enough. They'll try, maybe, but, I mean, considering the Enclave is mostly gone after Fallout 3, and considering the, you know, now the Institute is gone, it's going to be hard for them to ever achieve something like that again. It'll take a lot of work, so. My boy!
Hey.
You made it! Give me that teddy. I'm going to take this teddy again. Attaboy. Just don't throw it off the side, please. My boy made it. Still can't believe Bethesda wouldn't let me take him with me to the final battle. What the actual hell, Bethesda?
Hey.
But before we finish this out, before we go report to Maxon, I probably could let him sleep. Hell, I could probably pitch a tent right here and sleep for a couple of hours since it's basically dawn. I mostly did this so we could get one last pet. So that's what we'll do.
Good dog.
My boy. You wanted it?
Hey.
You got it.
Come on.
So now let's go finish it up, shall we? Brotherhood of Steel is probably the largest existing faction next to the NCR. Yeah, that's true. The NCR still has their military faction going on in the West, so, you know. Brotherhood's got some competition as a military faction. Yes, good pets. Couldn't hardly see them because of the lighting, but good pets. The Legion's also out there, yeah. Depending on how you finished Fallout New Vegas, that kind of makes it dependent on who's the primary power out in the West, so.
Elder Maxon?
Paladin, I'm pleased you've returned. Captain Kells and I wanted to speak with you.
Oh, you did? Is Captain Kells going to try to tell me to kill the railroad again?
The destruction of the Institute is simply the first stage of our operations in the Commonwealth. There are still super mutants and ferals to be dealt with, as well as any remaining synths that escaped the blast.
Yeah, good luck finding them.
You will continue serving with the Brotherhood and assist us with eradicating these threats.
I'll be honest with you, man, considering what I've done today.
I think I've had enough fighting.
The campaign has taken its toll on all of us, Paladin. I understand your hesitation. There's no need for your new duties to commence immediately. Take your time. And when you're ready, there will be plenty of missions to undertake.
Wow, the Brotherhood has a halfway decent mental health system. That's impressive, considering their unwavering loyalty to a cause like religious zealots.
With great pleasure and the utmost respect that you are hereby granted the title of Sentinel.
Ah.
This is the highest honor a Brotherhood soldier can achieve.
Well, not quite.
Strongly that it was well deserved.
In addition, we'd like to present you with this jetpack modification for your power armor. The Brotherhood has few of these devices in its possession, but we feel you've earned the right to utilize one of them.
Congratulations, Sentinel. It's an honor to be serving with you.
I know that I'm feeling lethargic after killing my sons, but I'm going to make the joke here.
You better watch it, Maxon. I'm only one step away from Elder.
Indeed. I'll be certain to watch my back. So, Sentinel, for the first time since we've met, I have no orders for you.
Good, because I need a break and a breather.
You will decide which missions you undertake and how you will guide us. Captain Kells and the personnel at the Cambridge police station still possess numerous operations for you to undertake. Where you go from here is up to you. Ad Victorium, Sentinel.
And there we go. Almost at the next level again. He did take that pretty damn well. I don't feel like he knows what he can do in this situation because, again, I basically single-handedly helped him do everything the Brotherhood wanted to do here in the Commonwealth with the exception of killing the railroad. But at the same time, I have guns pointed at him and I'm the general of another faction that is basically a standing militia in the Commonwealth. So it's like, what do I do? No one has ever provided this sort of opposition to me before. I think your relationship with him at this point allows for a few snide jokes. Yeah, and that's fair as well, because we've kind of, at this point, we know him well enough, so. Yes, Man, according to the writers, is the canon ending, if you remember correctly. Okay, gotcha. And it's very much so we control Nevada. Fuck off ending, yeah. If I remember correctly, at the end of it, you, like, have Yes Man uppercut one of the generals of the NCR off of a cliff or something. So that's very much a fuck off ending. So there you go. Charlotte basically shouted him down and got him to spare a dance. That's got to be some begrudging respect, at least. Yeah, I suppose he hasn't had... You know, it's possible, too, that maybe he sees something of Sarah Lyons in Charlotte as well, because he had a lot of respect for Sarah, and I don't know exactly how close we flew to the sun with Charlotte's character compared to Sarah, but I feel like maybe he sees some of the integrity that she had as a soldier in Charlotte. Not sure, so... Yeah, you throw Kimball off a cliff and you talk the new head of the Legion into leaving as their canon ending for Vegas. There you go. Thank you. You can have Yes Man throw him off the Hoover Dam. Yes, that's funny. Remember, you stood up for him for the sake of dance, and he didn't fucking end you and dance. Charlotte is a force of nature. She's definitely using those lawyer ways to, you know, make the most of it. And also drugs, because great man tats are a hell of a drug. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to do. There's only one thing left to do now, buddy. You and